And I dismissed every single last person, and I said, this is it. You don't need to be by my side because you're not here with me. And so I sat out and I said, I'm gonna go find me some friends that are my friends that I'm willing to open up to and get beyond that, because it's something that I have been really going through a lot of years of counseling and healing and self preservation for myself. And so I think this book is one that's really gonna open the doors and allow people, like Zip said, see herself and see why she don't do things. And then that second book can open up that door so people can identify different things that happen that hinders them from being able to go to that point that they want to get to.
Abandonment Property will be out 2013. It'll be about the perceptions of abandonment. One other thing about writing this book was also for people who were straight to kind of see that our lives are really no different from theirs. Same BS you go through, the same BS we go through. You know, it's no different. The only thing is that there's either 2 women or 2 men. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much the same. Is there something that any of you would like to kind of add to that?
Well, I'd like to add, like, one of the things you're saying, that it's pretty much the same, and I'm sure everybody in here has gotten this question, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten the question, well, dang, it seems like it's like the guys you've been dating, you might as well go back to dating guys. So, when you say that, we, being gay, understand what you're saying by that, but what does it mean for someone straight to hear that it's pretty much the same? Then why are we gay then? Like I said, we get it, but that perception of that's why women date other women.
I think that their perception, their original perception, is incorrect. Because if I were to say to you as a lesbian woman, then you should go back to men, that doesn't make sense.
These are straight people saying.
If I know that without a shadow of a doubt that you love women, there would be no need for me to say, go back to men. Or
like there's a choice between.
Right, there's not a choice.
I've never had anyone say that to me.
I've heard people. I haven't had anybody say it to me, but I've heard people say that. Like, why y'all dating all these women with all that drama? You might as well date a man. At least you know he gonna blah blah blah. And I was like, what does that have to do with? You get confused because you're lesbian and you don't think like that, and then you have to think about what they're saying, and then you go, oh, okay. So you don't really believe that we're just born this way.
Right.
You're thinking we're making the choice to go through all this drama and all this, and it's not a choice. It's the world we live in and what we stuck with. I mean,
Right. Because I had to explain to someone one time when they were like, well, why are you gay? I said, do you actually think that people choose a lifestyle that gets them beat up in the street for no reason, gets them kicked out of their church, ostracized by their families, fired from their jobs? Do you think that people actually choose that?
People do, though.
yeah, some people
But it's
choose
not
to
real.
date. I mean, that's a totally different
Thing.
thing, and I think that's why I always followed up and say, well, some people do make the choice because they're bisexual and they're choosing to be with a woman, but they could go back and be with a man. A lot of us don't have the choice.
Right.
So because when you debate that with people, it sounds like you're incorporating everybody, and everybody is not included in that.
And that's what I had to do, because I was at work and somebody,
When you outed me at work.
and I'm out at work. So everybody knows I'm out at work and everything. I wear my little ties and stuff like that. I be looking good and stuff. And a guy actually he said, hey, Terry, my wife brought me this tie and I really don't like it. You want it? Put it on there. But
Terry, just to let you know, you outed me at your job.
No, I didn't. I did not. That was Kai that did that. But I had nothing to do with that.
What did I have?
No, not you. Not you.
I have a friend of mine. Her name's Kai at work.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, the whole point was that somebody at work did ask me. They said, Terry, I don't get it. Why are you gay? And I was like, why are you heterosexual?
Exactly.
And they just looked at me. They was like, I was born this way. That's all I had to say. I had to say anything else. I just looked at myself. Now, do you have to ask me why I'm gay? I said, it's not a choice. I'm not choosing this. What I did choose was to accept who I am. That's what I chose. I did not choose to say, I want to go be with a woman now. Or, you know, I don't want to be with a man.
Yeah, because tomorrow I'm choosing to be
I wasn't choosing. I just decided, I just chose to finally accept the fact that I am a lesbian, and that's all to it. Okay? Now, if anybody wants to have issue with that, that's on you. You know, I'd rather for a person come to me and ask me questions than be ignorant and passing out lies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's
Or,
the thing about it. So,
like one of my coworkers is like, I didn't know you were gay. Why didn't you tell me you were gay? I say, so I was supposed to walk up to you and say, hi, my name is Kat. I'm a lesbian. Did you tell me that you were heterosexual?
right.
It's not something that I should have to tell you.
Explain.
I'm not hiding it, but it's not like I come into a job and make an announcement.
Right.
That's why I do not like coming out. I didn't come out. I've always been me.
Right.
I walked in my mom's heels when I was a kid. That was who I was. I played in my mom's jury as a kid. I didn't come out. I've always just been me. And people have always known me to just be Dre. That's it. I didn't come out. I don't like that because coming out means that you have to tell people you're gay. I don't have to tell you anything. I can just live my life. If I show up holding his hand, then guess what? I like to be with men.
I don't think that's true. I don't think coming out actually means that you're going to tell somebody that you're gay. I think coming out means that you're accepting who you are first and foremost. Once you accept who you are, then everything else falls into place. I mean, Kat will tell you, when she said, hey, look, I'm a lesbian, okay, a world was off her shoulders as far as the lie, living a lie. It's the same thing with Dorian. It's the same thing with me. You know, it's the same thing with most people in this room, is that when you are living one way, and you finally decide or choose to go the way that you know you should be living, that's what the coming out is about. You got lucky. You just boom, boom, boom. Nobody stopped you. Nobody said anything. And that's why. Now, if I was younger, 6, 7 years old, well, I kind of did do it, but nobody really knows that. When I was younger, I lived with my grandparents. Me and my mother lived with my grandparents starting at the age of 10 or 11. Grandfather's very old school. I didn't go in my mother's closet and put on her dresses and put on her makeup. I went in Granddaddy's room and got his ties, put on his shoes. He had old-fashioned soap in a cup with the old brush with the razor and stuff like that. And I'm in the doing all this and everything.
I did the same thing.
And I don't know how many times I shaved myself.
I cut my eyebrows off.
Stuff.
Because I had hair on my face.
Yeah.
And I was like,
this is what I was doing, and my mother asked me, she was like, my mother one year, she said, Merry Christmas. And I go on the Christmas tree, and I see this doll of a head, and it's got makeup stuff on it. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? And being a little girl and stuff like that, I said, look, see, you can put a little lipstick on here, you can put all this on here and stuff. And I'm like, I want to play with Ken. Give me Ken, because that was a male doll. That's, and growing up, my mother was like, well, what you want for Christmas? I want a G.I. Joe, I want walkie-talkies, I want a race car set. And my mother looked at me like I was crazy. She said, well, don't you want a Barbie doll house? No. What you want? No. So, so for us, being that age and stuff, we didn't have that opportunity like you did, which I applaud, and I wish I had that, was able to do that when I was your age and stuff like that, but we did. But coming out does not necessarily mean that.
I'd like to, and you know what, it's rare that I even talk about this around a group of lesbians, but I just feel the need to say it, is that it's interesting how people will say, well, it's just how we're born, or it's just whatever, and the straight people don't understand or whatever. But I would tell you, one of the things I don't tell people, especially lesbians, is it is a choice for me. And when I say a choice for me, it's not like, oh, I'm bi, and I don't necessarily like to use that word even, because bi suggests, oh, you just freaked out. You just run around having sex with everybody, and you just do whatever, and you just do what you want to do. And if that's what people want to do, that's their business. But for me, I love who I love. And for me, I found more connections with women. And so because of that connection, I prefer to be with women. I can't say there wouldn't be a guy that I would have that connection with. But for me, as I was raised, it wasn't shaving in the mirror and whatever and things like that. But my parents are a lot older. My dad is in his 80s, my mother is in her late 70s. Bought me Tonka trucks, but also baby dolls. Bought me Ken dolls, bought me whatever dolls. Bought me the science kit to do science projects, but also bought me, well, no, I didn't get Easy Bake Oven because I'd make a mess, but I mean, bought me the microscopes, bought me all of the things. And it's funny because I don't think they knew what they were doing, but they showed me that I can be a woman and take care of myself and what I need to do for myself, and having a mate is the icing on the cake for me. And so for me, I found the icing on the cake mate more comes as a female. Because a lot of times, guys only want to be there to take care of you, Great, that's great, because sometimes I'm going to need you to. Sometimes you're going to need me to. But that's one of the very difficult things, being a female, and especially around more lesbians, is to say, it is a choice for me. Because people say, well, then why would you this or why would you that? And it's like, so I just keep, and you all know I don't keep my mouth shut about much. But that's something I really don't talk to people about. And I think that it's something, I don't know if it's maybe in a book, it can be explored for some people, because, and I do believe I'm probably one of the younger people in the group, but I think it's one of the things that's changed. Donna and I were just talking about in the car about my niece. It's one of the things right now that's changing with these younger people, because they're realizing there are options out there. When I look around at any of the guys that are available, from my niece that's 19 years old, I wouldn't want her to be with any of those guys. And she's found a connection with the female. She likes guys, but she finds this connection that's so different for her, that these guys right now, and I'm not saying all guys, but it's hard to find these guys that are living up to what, that a woman wants. So we're either supposed to sit and just do nothing until they decide to come around, or keep getting cheated on, or find a woman that lives up to that for us and be with that woman. So
I find the different labels that we use for our community to be no different than a community of African Americans, light skinned. To me, it's just who you are. And I know I've heard other women who are bisexual kind of say that they get a bad rap, and it really shouldn't be that way. You are who you are. You are who you are. Now, I don't want a man, but that doesn't mean that you have to, or that you don't have to want one because I don't want one. You know what I'm saying? That just, to me, it just kind of like puts stipulations on people's lives. Like, in order for you to be around me, you have to like this person or that person, or the whole black people with the dark skin thing and the light skin thing, or you jigaboo, and just, to me, it's the same kind of thing. To me, in my mind, it is. Maybe
even within studs.
Yeah.
The boy stud, the powder stud.
Right.
People told me what I was. I was like, okay, look, I don't know. Like, if you just not hard enough.
Right.
I never heard the term powder puff.
Or whatever they call it.
Powder puff.
Yeah, soft stud,
Or a boy.
Boy.
You a stud, but you ain't a stud.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, okay.
but it's funny because the ones that say studs, sometimes they're a little less stud than the powder puff stud. So it's like, and that's what, it's just so confusing, all these labels.
It really shouldn't even be. I really don't.
It's all
I don't really
relative.
care for labels. I really don't.
Right.
I really don't.
But see, that's one thing I like. Another thing that I noticed in the book was when Corey has a thing for light skinned girls. She does have a thing. And me and Dorian talked about this, because Dorian told me, you